welcome to the channel, G17 Collectibles. In this video we're going to be taking a look at a new addition, which is the Hot Toys Star Wars Shoretrooper Squad Leader. We'll get it unboxed, have a look at the figure itself, and then get them posed up for the collection. Thanks to returning viewers and subscribers. Your support is always appreciated, and if you are a new viewer, please do consider liking and subscribing. It really does help me out and make sure I produce new content for the channel. So let's get the box looked at. Let's get the contents of the box out and we'll take a closer look at the figure. So here is the front of the box. I love this artwork. I really do love the Shoretrooper. I'm really glad that Hot Toys decided to re-release it in a different version because I missed out on the Rogue One release. The box, standard Star Wars box with the logo and a nice image of the Shoretrooper. You have this cardboard cigar band going all the way around, which is quite nice. It is a box that you can lift the top lid off of, and underneath, again, what we come to expect, we get the cardboard top cover sleeve with another great image of the Shoretrooper Squad Leader. So let's remove this one, and underneath we have the figure, we have the blaster, a couple of hands, and the stand will be below. So let's get this one out of the box and we'll take a closer look at the figure itself and everything that it comes with. So, figure out the box, and as you can see, there's not too many accessories that come with the Shoretrooper. First impressions are good, but it's not perfect. I've already noticed a couple of things which I'm thinking, could have been done better. But there's a lot of really nice and really amazing things about this figure. So, contents of the box, you obviously get the Shoretrooper Squad Leader figure with two open palm hands. We then have two sets of additional hands, left and right, which is what I would call gun trigger finger hands, and you can see armour plating on the back. And then we have another set of hands, which are just two closed fists, which again are done in the same weathered detail for the armour plating on the back of the hand. We then have the blaster. I don't know the proper designation name for the model name for the blaster, but it's pretty cool. You can see there it's nicely weathered, quite a chunky big blaster, to be honest with you. Comes with a little strap. Doesn't appear to be any moving components, but there is some nice detail on that blaster. We then have the stand parts. The stand is a typical Hot Toys plastic base, where you can see this kind of panelling grid pattern. You then have the nice shiny plate saying Star Wars Shoretrooper Squad Leader. You also receive this front plate, which I believe just clips round the front here. That may be the wrong way, but we'll have a look and find out later. So yeah, probably won't use that. It's not something I will use on any other stands, so that will go off to the side. You then have this top cover, which is a really nice piece of artwork. That fits on the stand like so. I really do like that artwork. It's really done very nicely. You have the Imperial cog logo, as I would call it, and then a nice image of the Shoretrooper itself. Not entirely certain I would use that. It's not something that I use for other figures. I tend to just stick with the blank plastic base. And whilst I really do like this, it possibly is one thing that would not match the other figures in a display. So that's potentially something that will go back in the box. And then you have standard crotch grabber. So that's it. That is literally everything that comes in the box. I do feel like they could maybe have included a couple of other things. Binoculars, or macro binoculars, whatever you call them. You know, perhaps something very like a Scarif type environment base. Certainly the Shira Imwe, and I know this isn't necessarily from Rogue One, but certainly the Shira Imwe, the Leia and Wicket, they came with, you know, some different options for the base, some tree trunks, some ferns. I recognise this is probably, you know, from the Mandalorian, it's from the Trooper base, there's not a lot to include, but it is still a Rogue One type figure as well, so why not provide us with some options to either have it displayed as Rogue One or as a Mandalorian. Just a thought, not a complaint, just thinking, you know, for the price of this figure, it's slightly cheaper than the other ones that you would maybe buy, like the Mandalorian pre-Beskar or like the Heavy Mando. But there's a lack of general accessories. But it's not necessarily something that overly bothers me anyway. I put everything in a museum pose with one accessory, and this is perfect for me, to be honest with you. So whilst I've said it would be nice to have these things, it's not something I am overly bothered about. The accessories for me, I pick and choose what I want, the rest go in the box and live in a cupboard somewhere. So I'm happy enough that I've got the blaster, a nice stand, and the figure itself. Now on to the figure itself. I have to say, first impressions again, very good. The armour is beautifully well done. Detail, the paint application, the weathering is fantastic. My only one complaint is the soft fabrics and the shoes are brand new looking. There is no weathering, there is nothing really applied to these soft fabrics, and even the boots to suggest that this is a trooper that's been round and did a couple of tours. But it doesn't match up with the armour. It's like a universe where there's a brand new trooper, he's got some brand new boots, he's got some brand new trousers and a brand new back skirt piece, but he's put on some old and weathered armour. Even the gloves have no weathering whatsoever, they are flat black. There's no weathering detail or wear put in here, and I feel that lets the figure down slightly. I think if Hot Toys, like they had done with recent releases, and I'm thinking about the Mud Trooper, I'm thinking about the OG Mando, I'm thinking about Heavy Mando, the weathering wasn't too heavy, but that was there for the soft armour parts, and this, it's just too new. And then look at the boots. Boots are nice, they're not, they're more like an ankle boot, but again, they're clean, there's no weathering, the soles, tread, it's fully detailed as if these things were new. So that's the first thing that strikes me. Beautiful armour, the hard parts are absolutely fantastic, they're very well done. And again, the Shoretrooper, one of my favourite troopers, from a look, from a paint perspective, from the colouring, it's an amazing figure, but the armour does not match the soft parts. Anyway, it is what it is. You can see the armour here. Let me just give you a couple of close-up shots of the actual armour itself. Articulation-wise, we've got some double bend elbows, which is really nice. Get some good poses with that. These armour parts are loose, they're not velcroed on, so that gives you more articulation options. The knees, a double bend in the knee, which is excellent. You can have them crouching and in sort of battle poses. There's the shin guard armour, which is quite nice. And on the rear, again, you have that lovely colouring and weathering. Chipping, you can see that they've went to the trouble of taking a lot of time to paint and weather around all the edges and give the Shoretrooper Squad Leader, you know, a really good warm battle damage look. But again, soft armour, soft parts, it's brand new. Anyway, again, not a complaint. I don't like to complain about things, it's just an observation. It's still an amazing figure, it's still fantastic, I still love it, it's going to go really well in the collection. I'm super glad that Hot Toys released it. I've actually had this one for a couple of months, haven't done very many videos over the last couple of months. I'm afraid life has just got the better of me and got in the way. But I'm back now, and this is the first figure I've opened. I've got 4 or 5 sitting there. First figure I've opened in a good few months, and I'm not disappointed. I am suitably impressed with the overall figure. I think if you like the Shore Trooper, you like Star Wars, this is a must-have for the price. It's a great figure, so let's have a play about with it. As I said before, and some of you who have maybe watched some of my previous videos in my collection video, I do tend to stick with museum poses. So I'm not going to mess about and try and pose them in all different options. I have an idea in my head of what I want to try and achieve. If you want to see posing options, I am not the best poser in the world. There's much better YouTubers out there that do posing content. So yeah, please check them out. But for me, I just want to get him standing up on his stand in a good trooper type pose, and let's see how we go on. So we'll take a break there. I'll go and pose this guy and I'll come right back to you. So here we are, nothing too flashy. This is exactly what I wanted to try and achieve. Just the Shore Trooper Squad Leader standing straight up and down, blaster in the right hand and left arm kind of hanging relaxed. That's it. Nothing too fancy, but it's the museum pose that I had in my head. Now, just to kind of give you an overview and an overlook, I think this is quite a good pose. This is, it's not the best pose in the world. I'm sure there's other people that can get better. But for this type of figure and to suit my collection, this is exactly kind of what I was wanting to try and achieve. I might futz with it, fettle with it a little bit. All I've done is I've turned the legs out a little bit. I've put a twist in the torso. I've put this arm at a kind of almost 45-degree angle from the lower arm to the upper arm, and I've put the blaster in. Not entirely satisfied with the way the strap's hanging. I've tried to tuck the strap behind the actual blaster itself. I've put a bend in the right arm, just very slightly, kind of hanging naturally, and that's it. There's nothing particularly special to say about it. I think it's quite effective. If you can see in the background there, we've got some troopers up in the right hand side, and that's exactly where he's going to go, between the Death Trooper and the Armourer. And given the kind of style of the figures that I have, I think it's going to fit in rather well. So let's do some close-ups and let's get him in the collection, and I will show you all what it looks like standing next to the Death Trooper. Here we go with some close-ups. You can see the weathering on that helmet, moving down to the actual armour. See the chest armour, it's done very, very well. The under stomach armour, the shoulder pauldrons, the upper arm, the lower arm, and the back of the glove. Turning them round, you can see that helmet. And we go in the back of the armour. Very, very easy to pose. It's got a, I've just noticed I need to put that finger in the trigger. It's got a very nice articulation to it, very, very easy, very smooth and nice body. Nothing's getting in the way. There's no fat suit underneath this one. The clothing doesn't appear to be getting in the way. The trousers, although they're not weathered, plenty of room in them. They're right baggy, so you can bend them legs to your heart's content, as we've already seen. Double bend in the knee, double bend in the elbow. It's probably been one of the easiest figures I've had to pose. It literally took me about 2 minutes. And okay, yeah, it's not a spectacular action pose, but it's exactly what I wanted to try and achieve. So 2 minutes out the box and it's done. You know, it's done. So there you are, Shore Trooper Squad Leader. Let's get him on the shelf now and see how he looks. So here we go, in the collection. I think he's fitting in just nicely. Just moved the figures to the left along a little bit to decrease the spacing, and then he slotted right in. So I'm really, really happy with the way this display's coming along. Let me just kind of walk back a bit so we can take in, you know, excuse the boxes, the other ones are still to open. But yeah, the collection's growing. I've got probably over 50 1/6 scale figures as it stands at the moment. Some are still in their boxes, but yeah, they're about to get unboxed. But let's take a quick look at what is the Star Wars shelf. So the Star Wars shelf extends all the way along the bottom, right the way along to the corner. I think the Shoretrooper next to the Death Trooper has worked out superbly. It really has. And I really do like the pose. It's very simple. I've said this before. I think it goes extremely well. So I'm really happy with the Shoretrooper. Extremely happy indeed. I think the armour's great. If I was brave enough, I might take a bit of time to kind of weather the soft armour parts myself. But you know, you look at something like the Mud Trooper, you can see there's some weathering on the kind of soft armour parts and on the boots. You can see the same on Mando, you can see the same on Heavy Mando. They're not massively weathered, but there's some weather in there. So yeah, I think that's the only con to this figure, as I've already pointed out. And I don't want to go on and on and on about it. I've been on about it enough. I still love it. I still think it's a tremendous figure. It's a tremendous release by Hot Toys. So very happy. Well done, Hot Toys. Another great release. Delighted with the Shoretrooper in the collection. Now moving on, and I've got a couple more to unbox. We've got the Ronin figure from Guardians of the Galaxy, and we have the Transcender figure, which is Agent Smith from the Matrix. So I've got them two to unbox. Winging its way at the moment is the Pennywise It Chapter 2 from Hot Toys, so that'll be another video review coming up very soon. Please do check out the videos on the channel. You know, it's a relatively small channel, and I'm trying to share my content, trying to share my collection. Not very many people around me in real life appreciate this, but I know you guys do, you lovely viewers and lovely subscribers. And it feels great just to be able to talk about it, to share. We're into 2022, so it's time we had a new full room tour, and we'll be doing that very, very soon. Just so I can share, you know, what my collection looks like over the last 20 years. Some really great pieces in here. So if you like what you see, please do give me a like. Please subscribe to the channel. It gives me the encouragement I need just to keep going. This year I'm going to branch into doing some other videos than just figures and reviews and props and helmets and Star Wars. I'd like to talk to you more about my experiences with collecting and kind of just give you my thoughts and opinions. So we'll see how that goes. I might enter into the world of live streaming, who knows. But for now, please do like and subscribe. Please do give me a comment. I'm always keen to hear your thoughts. Happy to answer any questions that you may have. So yeah, drop a comment in there. Thank you extremely and very much for checking out this video. I know there's other ones there for the Shoretrooper, which are far more interesting and exciting than mine. But yeah, it's good to make these things. It keeps me occupied, keeps me busy. I've got a renewed love for collecting this year. Life, as I said, over the last few months it's kind of got me down a little bit. 2021 was horrible, but let's make 2022 even better. So thanks again, much appreciated to you new viewers, and of course to you returning subscribers. The channel wouldn't be what it is unless we had subscribers such as yourselves. So thanks again. I'll stop rattling on now. On to the next video. Thanks very much for checking us out, and until the next one, do take care.